Yes. This is Errol Spence Jr. You're watching True School Sports.
All right. Just shameless plug. Go down the comment section. All right, you'll see it, and go to the official True School Sports merch store to get yourself a hoodie like this or a tank top like this. It's great stuff. If you get one of these True School Sports shirts, I guarantee you, your success with women will quadruple. Guaranteed. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I hate to tell the truth about the truth, but we're going to tell the truth about Errol Spence today. We're going to really just call a spade a spade. Some of y'all don't like when I call a spade a spade. Some of y'all getting your feelings, you get your panties in a bunch. You know, it becomes that time of the month for some of you guys in the comment section. But Errol Spence Jr., he went on Twitter yesterday and he was flapping his gums, with his Twitter fingers. He was going in, and he said, "I'm gonna use his words. These are not my words. These are not Brendan Taylor of the untouchable True School Sports Empire's words. This is Errol the Truth Spence, the unified welterweight champion of the world." These are his words from his Twitter account that he tweeted. He stated the following. He tweeted the following, saying, I quote, "I am at 147. No promoter controls what I do or manager." End quote. So, if what Errol Spence Jr. is saying is true, if he really is right, if he's not just as the young kids will say these days, if he's not capping, if he's not lying, if he's not bending the truth to push out a narrative and posture himself as if he's this guy that's not ducking any fights, then if that's the case, then why are you not fighting Terence Crawford? Why are you in a witness protection program to not fight Terence Crawford? Why are you fighting Danny Garcia, who you're a huge favorite against? I mean, no, I don't want to disrespect Danny Garcia. He's a name. He's going to be a tough opponent. You know, if Errol's not careful, he might lose. But it's not really a fight that myself or the majority of the boxing world at large wants to see. We don't get, and to be blunt about it, like, we're happy you're back in the ring, but as for the matchup itself, we don't give a rat's ass about Danny Garcia versus Errol Spence, because Danny Garcia hasn't beat anybody at 147. His best one at 147 is Adrian Granados, who's not looked at as a top flight elite, creme de la creme, welterweight. That's the fact of the matter, okay? Now, in reality, we know Errol Spence Jr. does not call the shots. We know that none of these PBC fighters, not Charlo, not Caleb Plant, not Deontay Wilder, not Errol Spence, not Danny Garcia, not Thurman, and the list goes on and on. None of these guys call the shots because they signed the Al Haymon advisory contract, and I don't need to get into the Al Haymon advisory contract. There's a million videos that explain it way better than I could, okay, here on YouTube. So if you want to know about the Al Haymon advisory contract, just go on that little search bar and type in Al Haymon advisory contract, and you can see what that's all about for your damn selves, okay? Al Haymon has done a great job of finessing himself into the role of an advisor. So no, he is not he is neither of the things Errol Spence said in his tweet. He is neither a manager nor is he a promoter. He is an advisor. So Errol actually isn't lying. Errol Spence, the truth is actually telling the truth. No manager or promoter controls what he does. He's right about that. But your advisor does. Your advisor makes you do whatever he wants. He's got you spinning on his finger like a fucking basketball, like when the basketball players spin the basketball on their finger. That's how Al Haymon has all these fighters, and that's just reality of the matter. Now, I know this. I'm not an idiot, but I'm gonna take Errol at his word. I'm gonna take Errol at his word because he's the one who tweeted this. He's the one who tweeted this. He's the one who tweeted this. He's the one that says, "I'm not scared to fight nobody from Nebraska." Okay, he said that last year. So my question is, and I know a lot of people, I don't know who watches these videos, but I do know that a lot of times, even unbeknownst to me, that people within boxing do watch this channel. I find it as insane as anybody, because I'm not the biggest channel in the world. I only have 30,000 subscribers. I don't even have 20 million views. I have 19.1 million views at the time making this video. But people in boxing, in the boxing industry, that are friends with these fighters, that are on their teams, that are friends, all that stuff. they watch my videos, and sometimes I get news back that certain fighters who I've never met in my life watch my videos. So if anybody from Errol Spence's circle of friends, his camp, his training team, come across this video, please, I'm gonna look right in the camera. I'm gonna tell you with conviction in my heart and seriousness in my eyes, stop ducking Terence Crawford. Because I know he's not ducking you guys. I know it's you guys. And to the Spence fans out there that say, oh, well, Spence has to do this, or Crawford has to do this, and Crawford's got to fight that guy, and he's not fighting no top welterweights. Well, okay, let's do some simple mathematics. The top welterweights, the majority of them, the guys that people want to see Terence fight are with PBC. Terence is with Top Rank. Now, Bob Arum has said many times and expressed many times that he'd be more than willing to make those fights. And he doesn't really have the reputation, honestly, he doesn't have the reputation that Al Haymon has for blocking these kind of cross-promotional fights. Al Haymon, I give Al Haymon his credit. Al Haymon is in his bag right now. He's got the best boxing schedule of all the promotional companies right now. I will never say that. But if you look at the main events, the fights that everybody's excited about, they're Haymon versus Haymon fighters. They're not Haymon versus Top Rank, Haymon versus Matchroom. They're Haymon versus Haymon fighters. They're keeping it in-house. And I have to believe that Terence Crawford isn't the one that's ducking this fight, because Terence Crawford's language and what he's been saying in interviews to Errol Spence's face directly has remained consistent all the way through. He was the one saying that, look, I want to fight the top guys at 147 before he even had a fight at 147. It was Errol who said, oh, get a belt and I'll fight you. Then when he got a belt, he said, no, well, you got to come across. He's the one who started the whole you got to cross the street narrative. Come to Fox and Showtime. Every time Terence Crawford has elevated himself in the welterweight division and further established himself in the welterweight division, what Errol Spence did he's taken the goalposts and he's moved them 50 yards up the field. That's what he's did with Terence Crawford. And to me, what this tweet is it's Errol Spence Jr. basically saying that it's him posturing himself and he's basically taking advantage of the naive and more ignorant boxing fans and his own fanboys that don't know nothing about boxing or that are going to always side with him, that Terence Crawford is ducking, that Terence Crawford doesn't want to fight him, when that's not the case. Terence Crawford has been consistent throughout. Terence Crawford, his promoter isn't the one who has a long history of blocking cross-promotional fights when they don't suit his narratives and his business interests. Which is fine. Like, look, I'm not knocking Haymon. Like this isn't even a video for me to knock Haymon. I'm not knocking Al Haymon. How he runs his business is how he runs his business. But I'm speaking from the perspective of a boxing fan, of somebody who wants to see these fights, of someone who wants to see if Errol Spence is everything they say he is. You know, I talk to a lot of people in boxing and they say, BT, Errol Spence is this, Errol Spence is that. And I love Errol Spence. I think he's a great fighter. I just don't think he can beat Terence Crawford. I think he's a great fighter. I just think Terence Crawford is greater. I think Terence Crawford is the best welterweight in the world. You know, straight up, I think he's the best welterweight in the world. And the minute they allow him to prove it, he'll prove it. But it seems like Errol Spence, PBC, Al Haymon, Tim Smith, I'll even throw Tim Smith in there, the whole camp of PBC, they don't want to see any of their top guys fight any of the other top guys from other cross-promotional companies, because at this moment in time, at this juncture, it does not best suit their business interests. That's the reality of it, and they're the ones with the history of that. And I have to go by history. I have to go by consistency. I have to go by what Errol's saying. I have to go by what Al Haymon's actual job title is. You gotta take these things into consideration, okay? I really don't give a personally. Like, look, I don't want to get into the whole A side, B side thing. I can really give a rat's ass about it. I really think that this is one of those rare times in boxing where it should be 50-50. Like Errol might be a bigger star than Terence Crawford. You could say that he's had more pay-per-view buys and he's sold more tickets and he's been in bigger, more meaningful fights in his career. I get that, but every fighter needs a dance partner. Like no matter how you slice it, if this fight doesn't happen, they're both gonna lose. They're gonna lose. The fans are gonna lose, and boxing at large is gonna lose. So I think it should be 50-50. Or maybe it should be 60. Maybe it should be 50-50, and the winner could take the extra 10%. So maybe it could be a 60-40 deal. Whoever wins gets that 10%. Because I know these guys are both confident in their skills, but it just seems like PBC is on one accord from Al Haymon to the promoters to the director of TV and marketing to Errol Spence. They're all on one accord. They don't want to fight anybody who's not within the realms of PBC because it's not the most sensible business decision for them right now. When they can fight Danny Garcia right now, who is a name, who sells tickets, who's known, who's respected, who's a former champion, but it is a fight where Errol is going to be a massive favorite. So the reality is this: Errol Spence just admitted out of his own mouth he's ducking Terence Crawford. I don't care what you say. He just admitted he's ducking Terence Crawford, because if that's the case, then why the fuck are you fighting Danny Garcia? I'm trying not to curse, but why are you fighting Danny Garcia? It makes no sense. You're gonna fight a guy who his whole run at 147 for the most part has been pretty underwhelming compared to what he did at 140. Like, come on, man. Danny Garcia, he might be the 6th, 7th best welterweight in the world right now. And you're Errol Spence. Like, I know you can't fight killer after killer all the time, but like, don't fight Danny Garcia over here on this side, and then on this side say you're your own. You can do whatever you want, you know. Because truthfully speaking, if you could do whatever you want, then the question has to be asked. And I hope one day somebody interviews you, Errol Spence, and asks you the question. If that's the case, then what's the hold up with the Terence Crawford fight? And then if he answers it honestly and says, well, you know what, I just want to tune up. I want somebody who's going to give me good rounds, that could really test me in that ring, and he's honest about it, then I respect him. But if somebody asks him that question and he comes from the position or the standpoint of, oh, I'm not ducking him, or I'm not gonna fight him because he wants 50-50, then honestly, like, then you know Errol Spence don't want no smoke. He don't want no smoke. He doesn't. So you know, make of it what you will. You know, I just want to see this fight happen because I believe this is one of the best fights in boxing. I believe that both Terence Crawford and Errol Spence equally are two of the best fighters that this country has to offer in America, and I want to see them square off. So you guys let me know what you think. What do you guys make of Errol Spence pretty much on Twitter saying that nobody controls what he does? That nobody controls what he does. That he's his own manager. He does what he wants, when he wants, and how he wants to do it. He's his own boss. Let me know in the comments what you think. Does that lead you to believe that maybe he is delaying the Terence Crawford fight, putting it in further marination? You know, just give me your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you cop some True School Sports merch. Just go look in the comment section. You'll see the little store link, and you know it'll really help you out in the content creation of the channel. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just Kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
Hey guys, Christina Poncher here, and you're watching True School Sports.